Today, we are going to take a trip through space to explore our solar system. The solar system is the neighborhood in space where Earth lives. It includes the Sun, 8 planets, moons, asteroids, and many other objects. To help us learn about space, we'll be guided by Nova, the little star, who will show us how everything in our solar system works together. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Miss Bree. I'm an educator, a farmer, an illustrator, a singer, and a fellow grammar nerd. Welcome to the farm school. All right, Nova, are you ready? Let's go. Hello, explorers. My name is Nova, and I'm excited to guide you through our amazing solar system. Together, we'll visit planets, learn about the sun, and discover the objects that travel through space with us. Space is big, beautiful, and full of fascinating things to learn. So let's go. Now, first of all, what is the solar system? Well, the solar system is a group of objects that all travel around the sun. The sun is at the center, and planets orbit around it in giant paths. There are also moons, rocky asteroids, icy comets, and even dwarf planets traveling through space with us. Now let's start with the sun. The sun is the most important object in our solar system. It is a giant star made mostly of hot gases. The sun gives Earth its light and warmth, making life possible. Its gravity also keeps the planets moving in their orbits. Without the sun, our solar system would not exist. Now, a planet, on the other hand, is a large world that travels around the sun. Planets are big enough to be round because of gravity, and they follow their own paths through space. Now, our solar system has 8 planets, each with unique features and environments. So the 4 planets closest to the sun are called the inner planets. They are made mostly of rock and metal. These planets have solid surfaces where mountains, valleys, and craters can form. Earth is one of these rocky planets. Now, first up, closest to the sun, is Mercury. It's also one of the smallest. Actually, it is the smallest. It's a small rocky world covered with many craters from asteroid impacts. Because it has almost no atmosphere, Mercury becomes extremely hot during the day and very, very cold at night. Venus is often called Earth's twin because it is nearly the same size. But Venus is very, very different. Thick clouds trap heat in the atmosphere, making it the hottest planet in our solar system. The surface of Venus is hot enough to melt metal. Isn't that crazy? I know. Now, Earth is a very special planet. You'll be partial to it because that's where you live. It has liquid water, breathable air, and temperatures that allow life to exist. Earth's atmosphere also protects us from harmful space radiation and helps keep the planet warm enough for living things. Mars looks red, and it's often called the red planet because its soil contains iron oxide, which is similar to rust. Scientists study Mars carefully because they believe water once flowed there long ago. Today, robots and spacecraft explore Mars to learn whether life may have existed there. So, between the inner and outer planets lies something called the asteroid belt. This region contains thousands of rocky objects called asteroids. These rocks are leftovers from the early solar system when planets were forming. They're kind of like planet fossils, right? Something like that. Not exactly, but that's close. So the asteroid belt lies between Mars and Jupiter. So now let's talk about the outer planets. Okay, the outer planets are much larger than the inner planets. And instead of rocky surfaces, they're mostly made of gas and ice. These planets also have many moons and beautiful ring systems. So first up is Jupiter. Jupiter is also the largest planet in our solar system. A huge storm called the Great Red Spot has been spinning there for hundreds of years. Jupiter also has more than 90 moons orbiting around it. That's right, 90, 90. That's a big number. There's a lot of moons. Jupiter is also named after the Roman god of thunder and lightning, but he's also the king of the gods. In ancient Greek mythology, he's called Zeus. But that's where Jupiter comes from. Now on to Saturn. Saturn is famous for its rings. Saturn's rings are some of the most beautiful sights in our solar system. They are made of billions of tiny pieces of ice and rock that orbit around the planet. Saturn also has many fascinating moons. Now, Uranus is a very unusual planet. It spins practically on its side compared to all the other planets, almost like a rolling ball. And its blue-green color comes from methane gas in its atmosphere. It's also one of the ice giants, which is why it's more blue. And lastly, we have Neptune. Neptune is the farthest major planet from the sun. It has powerful winds that move faster than any storms on Earth. Even though it is far, far away, scientists study Neptune using powerful telescopes and spacecrafts. It's very, very cold there. It's deep, deep blue, and it's the farthest from the sun as far as major planets go. Now, many planets have moons, right? Moons are objects that travel around planets. Some planets have dozens and dozens of moons, like Jupiter, and some have none. Earth has one moon, which helps control ocean tides and lights our night sky. Asteroids, remember we talked about the asteroid belt? They're rocky objects that orbit the sun. Comets, on the other hand, are mostly made of ice. When they travel near the sun, they heat up and form glowing tails of gas and dust. These objects help scientists learn about how the solar system formed. Now, sometimes you'll see like a comet shower up in the sky, or comets like Halley's Comet, and they'll come flying down towards the Earth. Usually they don't hit the Earth, but once in a while they do. But they're really, really pretty to watch. Now, you have to remember that our solar system is just one teeny tiny neighborhood inside the enormous Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way contains billions and billions of stars, and many of those stars may also have planets. Space is so much bigger than we can even imagine. So let's look at a map of our solar system, right? So we start with the sun in the center, and then the planets travel around it in large paths called orbits. The 4 rocky planets are closest to the sun. After them comes the asteroid belt, and then the giant outer planets. Because the outer planets travel much farther around the sun, it takes them much longer to complete one orbit. For example, Earth takes 1 year to circle the sun, but Neptune takes 165 Earth years to travel around the sun. Isn't that crazy? I know. So let's compare the two, right? We'll compare the rocky planets to the gas and ice giants. This is generally what scientists group the sets of planets into. So we've got the terrestrial planets, or the rocky worlds, with solid surfaces. That's Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Okay? The outer planets, on the other hand, are much larger and are mostly made of gases and icy materials. These are called gas giants and ice giants. So Jupiter and Saturn are gas giants, while Uranus and Neptune are ice giants. So even though they're very different, all of these planets orbit the same sun. Now, Earth experiences seasons because our planet is tilted as it travels around the sun. We're tilted about 23.5 degrees. As Earth orbits the sun, different parts of the planet receive more or less sunlight during the year. That's why we have summer, fall, winter, and spring. So when your part of the Earth tilts toward the sun, it becomes summer. When it tilts away from the sun, it becomes winter. This tilt is what creates the cycle of spring, summer, fall, and winter that many places on Earth experience each year. This is also the reason that, while October and November in America is usually cold, October and November in Australia, in the southern hemisphere, is usually the summer, right? It's usually warm. Isn't that crazy? I know. So, when you go off to do your next activity today, I want you to remember, okay, the solar system is a wonderful system of planets and objects traveling together around the sun. Now, each planet is unique, just like people, and scientists continue to explore them to learn more about space and our universe. All right, thanks, Nova. So today, Nova helped us explore the solar system and learn all about the planets that travel around our sun. By studying space, scientists learn how planets form, how stars work, and how our universe continues to grow and change. And who knows, maybe one day some of you will help explore space too. Thanks for coming today, guys, and I'll talk to you in the next video.